First up this month, we're celebrating the art of live music with a special performance from the Imperial Symphony Orchestra. The Aerospace Pavilion at Sun & Fun in Lakeland provided an excellent outdoor venue for the musicians, who were proud to present Felix Mendelssohn's Octet for strings in E-flat major, as well as the famous Eine Kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart. I got the chance to chat with some key members of the orchestra, as well as Executive Director Amy Wiggins, about the challenges of performing live music during a pandemic, as well as how the Imperial Symphony Orchestra hopes to continue to entertain, educate, and inspire the residents of Polk County. Let's take a look.
Well, we're performing actually two pieces this evening. The first is the Octet in E-flat major by Felix Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn was kind of unlike a lot of composers in that his parents were very well versed in music and providing their child with just about everything. They surrounded themselves with great composers at the time. They got Mendelssohn the best teachers, and so at the ripe old age of 16, he composes this string octet, which is 8 different parts, 8 independent parts, and it's so intricate and so delicate and so bold and so brash and so beautiful. It has everything you could really ask for, and so Mendelssohn did a bang-up job. And the second piece is the famous Eine Kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart, you know, bum, 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 bum. And he composed this in Vienna. It means a little night music, but that time in Vienna meant a little serenade. So it's a serenade, which is instrumental music. It wasn't uncommon in Vienna to have night serenades just well into the night. And so Mozart thought he'd get into the game and write this, what he thought was a little piece, because most serenades were a lot longer and used a lot more instruments. He was certainly a prolific composer, and people were wondering how could he write such a delicate piece late in his life where there was so much angst and anguish in it. But he managed to compose this piece, and it's one of the top 40s at least in the classical music world.
Our final concert of the 2019-2020 season was March 10th, and shortly after that, everybody went home and started working from home, and schools started closing, and so we actually had to cancel 2 performances to close out our season last season, which was really difficult, not only from a patron engagement, you know, we just miss seeing our patrons and our concert goers, but also for our musicians, because they are teachers and private lesson instructors and gig workers around the area, and so it was really challenging. One of the things that we really chose to focus on from the beginning was, what can we do? It's so easy when we can't do things to focus on the negative, and our board and our staff and our musicians were really focused and intent on saying, we may not be able to do everything that we used to do, but we can do something, and what can we do? And we're so fortunate to be in Florida, where hot is better than snow. So we have this amazing space that we can perform outside, where things are a little bit safer. We can appropriately distance and the air can dissipate more readily. So it was just a matter of trying to figure out where outside we can do that. And one of the challenges that we have as a symphony is that we're typically not producing amplified music, which means that we need a space that is acoustically intelligent. And so having a roof helps, having a hard floor helps, things that kind of direct the sound and guide it, rather than just playing outside in an open field. Those sound waves just go everywhere. And so we really needed something that would kind of direct the sound to the patrons more similarly to a concert hall. And we were so fortunate that our partners out here at Sun & Fun have this amazing pavilion that was designed by the Lunds Group, and it has all of those things and a stage. It's effectively a giant band shell, so it really provides a great acoustic experience, even as the musicians and the audience members are separated from one another with physical distance.
Well, originally we had the Schubert Octet, but that involved wind players, and so that's a little different game when you're dealing with the wind and their air. So we decided to change it kind of last minute to the Mendelssohn. And so it's a very, very classical piece. It's not hard to listen to at all, but it's pretty intricate. And then of course I chose the Eine Kleine because it's so familiar to people, and they'll love that. So it's just two pieces, but we have to keep our concerts down to an hour. That's kind of the standard that people are going by, and it's wise right now to do that.
Everything has been very, very different this season. Well, first we are playing some chamber music instead of symphony music because we only can have limited number of players on the stage. Chamber music has a very, very unique and very different approach. So each of us should be a soloist to be able to play chamber music, because every single voice is heard and every single voice is not doubled. So you are the only one who is playing your part. So the responsibility is much higher, and the preparation process also has been very different, because it involved more practicing and rehearsing very little details. One of the main details and one of the most challenging skills that chamber musician should obtain is being able to listen to every single voice around them while playing your very challenging part. So you kind of need to split, in a way, your conscience to be able to play your part, which is often very, very hard, especially as compared with most of orchestra parts. And also be able to listen and distinguish other voices and driving all the music all together. The ISO is doing a great job by keeping it moving. Not as many concerts, but at least something so people can enjoy. It's not a very easy time for the ISO nowadays, but we really do appreciate and rely on the support of our community, because live music, classical music are just as essential as any other needs for people, because we need food to survive physically, but we do need music and performances to survive spiritually. And nowadays it's very, very important, along with all the stress that people have in their lives. I think supporting arts is just very, very essential nowadays. I would like to express my absolute pleasure and honor to be here tonight. I'm very thrilled and excited about this performance. We've been longing for this opportunity for a very, very long time, and it's just such a joy to be able to create beautiful music together again. And I feel very grateful for that.
This season, we are, I'm not gonna lie to you, we are making it up as we go along a little bit, just by way of, we don't know what's gonna change. And so we've been very conservative in our plans. That we have planned November and December performances, both at Bach Tower, and also we have an October, November, and December live performance planned. So coming up in November, we'll be doing Vivaldi's Four Seasons, always a classic. It's November 10th. And then in December, we are gonna be Christmassy. That's all I know to say. We are doing our best to find the best way possible to have a joyous experience and a festive experience with an appropriately safe number of musicians and audience members there. So we will probably engage some of our friends from Florida Dance Theater, do a little nutcrackery stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, I know that. And then as we learn more about what's possible, then we'll announce our plans for the spring. We just don't know yet how big we'll be able to go, so stay tuned.
For more information on the Imperial Symphony Orchestra and to keep up with their upcoming season, visit imperialsymphony.org.